All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise and glory unto you. How about Shema Shah by Shema Kakodash, the bonus of the apostle and others, a great millstone. Shalom to the Akimana, pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. Yeah, I want to do this lesson on basically Microsoft, where it says Microsoft could bring you back from the dead as a chat box. Now, if brothers are familiar, which me, I was a major fan of Black Mirror. That was one of I just want to put in comparison to other shows. That was a show that stuck out to me very heavily, dealing with AI, dealing with modern day tech, infusing technological devices within the human body, and recreating your biology, dealing with transhumanism and things of that sort. And Black Mirror, the show, which was aired on Netflix, it reminded me like of a modern day tech style um, Twilight Zone. I used to watch the Twilight Zone as a child, and you'll see these dystopianish events take place. Then you'll think that these things are so far fetched and mythological, fantasy, whatever you want to put it, science fiction, whatever genre you like to categorize it as. But then you see within a couple of years later that these things start to become actually reality. And for Microsoft to actually be able to bring you back from the dead as a chat box, that's something that seems like it's fiction. All right. And they actually have a video, which, matter of fact, I'll just click it just for
Microsoft has filed a patent which raises the intriguing possibility of digitally reincarnating people as a chatbot.
Right, so it says Microsoft has filed a patent which raises the intriguing possibility. So they're looking to patent or basically be the the cornerstone, corporation that actually is the first to bring about this new style technology. And this is nothing more but ancient witchcraft repackaged within modern civilization. You had individuals that would try to resurrect the dead and bring back spirits, and they would actually know how to house these different vibrations or spirits within certain vessels. You read that within the book of Samuel with the witch of Endor. That was a form of bringing back the dead. After Samuel died, Saul the king, he wanted to actually get certain oracles and certain visions from him, because back then they were known as seers. They could actually see within the future. And he wanted to see his fate within the battle. And Samuel told him that basically he was going to be, put to death within that future event that was to take place. But prior to him telling that, he was cussing him the hell out. Why the hell you brought me back from the dead, man? Why? Because when the scripture says, when the spirit is at rest, when a man dies, you're in the spirit world, man. You're in a spiritual paradise where you don't want to come back to the future, all right, or come back to the present. Excuse me. But you have these devils, which Microsoft, whether it's Amazon, Elon Musk and Tesla, all these different tech uh, companies, that's major in today's world. They're just nothing but witches and warlocks. The scripture just sums them up as witches and warlocks, but they have machinery where they can actually put their witchcraft in. That's what makes these tech giants different than ancient soothsayers, ancient witches back then. Which back then they would have certain devices, but they didn't have the technology as advanced as today. So I'm gonna continue on, but I wanted to also bring out the point digitally reincarnating, which that's an oxymoron. Reincarnating, re is back, in is in, and incarnation deals with the flesh. You can't digitally reincarnate. You can't digitally bring somebody back in the flesh, because the flesh is a material. Something that's digital, something that's flesh are two different substances. But Esau, through his witchcraft, he's looking at put basically your spirit in a digitized form. All right. And they actually learn the algorithm through your voice, through things that you would say, through who you are, to actually recreate you. That's why it says reincarnating people as a chat box. So they'll take your voice, whether you had conversations on Twitter or YouTube. And one example is Kanye West had, so-called resurrected Kim Kardashian's father and you know gave a basically a speech to Kim Kardashian, and she was crying or whatnot. She was all sentimental about the situation, but that's nothing more than witchcraft, man. That's nothing more but left hand side. Sue saying when a person dies, like I said before, you're supposed to let his image rest. Let his spirit rest. But I'm gonna continue on.
Instead of using the conventional method of training chatbots using conversations and material from a wide sample of users, Microsoft's patent, as spotted by Ubergizmo, raises the possibility of creating a chatbot from the output of a specific person. The system would use social data, such as images.
Yeah, and this was on Black Mirror. It was another episode. I think it was San Junipero. The individuals wanted their spirits to be transferred into a world, and the individual actually took their body, their spirit. Before they was finna die, they was basically like this would be a medical department, and the medical department would be able to actually take their spirit and put it on a microchip, and put it in all these little slots. This would be a whole nother digital world, and as you would insert, it would be into a major database. All right, like these different databases that Esau connects, he's gonna use these individual databases to resurrect spirits and put your spirit in a whole nother world, man.
Voice
Where you could
data.
where you can taste, where you can feel, where you can connect, socially connect, even after death. All right, continue on.
Social media posts, electronic messages, and written letters to build a profile of a person. The
Mm-hmm.
social data may be used to create or modify a special index in the theme of the specific person's personality, the patent states. The special index may be used to train a chatbot to converse and interact in the personality of a specific person. The chatbot could even sound like the real person.
Mm-hmm.
In some aspects.
Yeah. So, and it was another episode of Black Mirror, starring Miley Cyrus. As people know, as Hannah Montana. She actually was a singer, and she actually suffered like a concussion. They basically put her in the ICU, put her in critical condition where she was basically as a carrot, and they took her brain, and they took her speech pattern, they took her whole persona, and they actually went into her brain waves, and they seen that her actual spirit was producing music, the waves of her brain, which that's true. When you're in a certain state, your spirit can always produce music. I know that for a fact. Sometimes when I be laying down in the bed, certain spiritual, I might have certain songs that might, segue within my spirit. Now I'm not a writer or a composer or anything like that, but I'm saying I personally experienced like how production takes place within the human body, even at a point of unconsciousness. That's why you have certain realms. You dream, you get inspiration in your sleep. It's a lot of things that go on, and the scriptures speak about the sleep. So what it tells you in the book of Job, when you're in a deep sleep, the Most High puts thoughts upon men. So Esau is basically looking to harvest, you know, your spirit with even in a conscious or an unconscious state. Which that's why it tells you in Nahum the third chapter, this is the mistress of witchcrafts. You know, because you had all nations that was into sorcery, that was into left hand side magic, the Chaldeans and things as such. But Esau stands at the pinnacle. Nobody is bigger witches than Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Instagram, which Instagram owns Facebook and things, and these different entities own each other. But the fact is, you know, whether it's media, you know, the religion that Esau controls, the technology, nobody actually ascends him in today's tech. Period. The only ones that may have that run close is people in the modern age, Chinese technological innovators, you know, people all over the world that actually have a foothold within today's time as being so-called trailblazers within the tech world, individuals that be on TED Talks and things of that nature, which I watch these things. It's good to know about the tech industry and the tech world, Business Insider, Tech, Insider, and see what's, you know, who are the individuals that's actually, you know, being looked at, as the man behind the plan, which really these are different individuals helping push the New World Order agenda. But I'm gonna continue on.
aspects. A voice font of the specific person may be generated using recordings and sound data related to the specific person, the patent claims. What's more, a 2D, 3D model of the specific person may be generated using images, depth information, and/or video data associated with the specific person.
Right, so this is dealing with the spirit. When you're dealing with 2D, 3D models, that's the physical makeup. And you see, they have this bulb, which the scriptures speak about how your spirit is likened unto a light. All right, it's likened unto a bulb. All right, so they'll take these different parts of your persona, how you act, how you feel, yada, 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 your emotions. They'll pick it up through these different devices because there's nothing that's deleted in these times now. Every message in Facebook is being recorded. Every message in Instagram is being recorded. And they look to recreate you even after death. And we've seen a lot of these different 3D, or I'll say computer generated performances. They show one with Tupac. I think they had one with Michael Jackson. And like I said, the one with Kanye and Kim Kardashian's father. Forget the individual's name. But yeah, there you have it. And it's articles, the backup articles dealing with the chat box if brothers want to further go into it. But yeah, we living in what was once fantasy yesterday is reality today. Lord, when I quote that. What was once fantasy yesterday is reality today. We'll look at these different things. Like me, myself, I looked at this as a fantasy. I never thought I would. When I even seen this on Black Mirror, I'd be like, yeah, that's Esau's agenda. But the Most High is gonna, interrupt that. But you see, Esau is already having these things about, and who's to say that he hasn't already started? He hasn't already got these things going. But I want to get this in the law, because the law is very heavily when dealing upon, the dead. Tells you the rituals to do with somebody that actually, died, whether they fell by the sword or it was a natural cause. But you just you get the rituals of respect, and then you go on about your business. You mourn for a certain amount of time, and then you so let it be. Even that concept of yearly visitation upon dead corpses, talking to your mother or father. Here it is. It's a casket full of bones. Just in reality, and you're going every year to talk to your uncle or your auntie. You're conversating like it's an actual person within that casket. That person has died years, if not decades ago. So this is Leviticus 21:1. And the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people. Right. So when dealing with the dead, like I said, it was a clear ritual on how to deal with the dead. And our people wasn't infatuated with the dead like now. People would tattoo themselves, for the dead. They'll have RIP shirts for the dead. They'll do all these things for the dead, to the point where they even want to bring back the dead, bring back their mother, father. And I remember as a younger, they would have this individual, Miss Cleo, and they would have these sorcerers that would come on TV and give messages from what a person's father or mother would have told them. South Park actually had an episode like that. Where you have people, and there'd be tons of people that would get on these different shows, and then they'll surround the individual that says that they're what they call them medians. Medians, or there'll be personalities that'll come around, and they'll so-called have a globe, so-called crystal ball and things as such. And then they would talk to people in the spirit world, and they would send messages as medians. That's all witchcraft, man. The Lord ain't dealing with none of that. All right? If a man had a specific time where he's to depart, that's his time where the Most High gave up his spirit. And any messages, any type of spirit of inspiration, the breath is out of him. It's dead at that point. His legacy of spirit, resonates with the people after, the ones he may have personally touched, or his children's, within the future. But that's the end of it. And for you to, how does the saying go? You're basically trying to recreate the program, reinvent the wheel. you're trying to tap back into a person's dead corpse through modern day tech, which is nothing more but sorcery. All right, the summoning of demons, man. All right, so this is Sirach 38, and I'll just read 24. When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and comfort him in the departing of his spirit. So you comfort that a man's spirit is departed, let him rest. You know, I would never, even because of what we know, but for the truth's sake, think about conversating with dead ones or loved ones. I have family members that were dead ones or loved ones, but you know what? The Lord took them out for a certain reason. Their time upon earth was served a purpose, and that's it. But you got so many people that's unsettled in today's time. They wonder what their cousin, if they could actually have their cousin along their side. Their cousin might have got shot in the drive-by when they were younger, but they wanted their cousin to be, and that's that weird spirit. And they're demon possessed, really. That goes into demon possession when you can't let go of certain spirits that were here on earth. The Most High let them go. The Most High took their spirit from the presence of this earth. Now you do have righteous individuals that are written of for you to be guided by, but you don't see us trying to summon Yahweh Shai's spirit, through left-hand side energy. It's a righteous way where the Most High is going to raise up spirits. And we have to go through the rituals on the right-hand side rather than the left-hand side. You can't rush this thing. The scriptures speak about how all Israel is going to be saved. There's going to be a time we're going to see our cousins, our nieces, our nephews, our uncles, grandma, grandfathers, so on and so forth. But the scriptures speak about in the patience, possess your soul. But these devils that's looking to tap into this energy, they're in for a rude awakening. They're going to end up tapping into a spirit that's going to jack their whole program up, and they're going to see who's the Most High, who's the true omnipotent one. All right, so this was just something I wanted to, bring out. Hopefully, brothers edify. I want to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shalom HaKodash, the abundance of apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom Akim.